So to me, personally, when hand tie came out, they were so fine and thin. I thought that's kind of cool, very lightweight. And that was the point. Lightweight. That's where the no damage comes in. And I think that the N in an MBR for natural beaded row, kind of what they were trying to say is it's so thin and light. It looks real natural. You can barely tell it's on your head. So they put the beads so far apart. But the thing that drives me crazy, and this is going to be a little bit of a tangent, not answering your question, but as I'm thinking about it, I got to say it. The thing that got me was the bead, the string. I should say the string more than the bead. Before you sew it on, they put it, they hook a string between the beads. So they're putting a bead in and they're starting a string there. And then a little whiles later, all up to you how secure you want this weft to be in. And most people, out of speed and laziness or just ignorance and don't know how much you should put in, will put another bead too far away. And the reason they'll put it far away, or the reason they put the string in between, is because as they put this weft up against the head, boom, there might be a bead where my finger is here and a bead where my finger is here, but there's a string between those beads. So as they sew the weft around the bead, they can sew it to the string in the middle too. But where is the weight hanging from the client's head? Bead number one, bead number two. Where you sew it to the string in the middle, there's no bead, there's no support. What's the point of even sewing it right there? If you're going to sew it to the string right there, there might as well be another bead. So my first criticism of the first original beaded kind of trying to use beads with wefts, which again came from a technique that wasn't around back when we did wefts originally. There were no beads because there were no eye tips. When eye tips came out, that's when the people that were using beads from way back when, and I know I'm going all over the place, but that's when people said, oh, wait, wefts. I still got old wefts sitting in my back closet from Miss So-and-so because it stays good for a long time. You can reuse it. It was the original reusable extension. And so I started watching all this, and this is where I developed our beaded weft that is so reusable, so good for fine, thin hair. Most people are putting natural beaded rows. So what cracked me up was then one of the competitors of natural beaded rows was waterfall beaded rows. Apparently they were friends or partners at one point. Then this girl went out and started her own, and one of them sued the other because they said they started the business or the idea or the thought process or whatever it was. But to me, waterfall was the droop between.
It's the droop. Yeah.
So it was like a waterfall. Again, gotta give it to these girls for these names because natural beaded sounds so beautiful, right? And I love waterfalls. I mean, we just hiked in Tennessee to go see a waterfall, but I don't want to see a waterfall on a person's head that is describing sagginess. I mean, they might as well call it the saggy diaper technique. Do you think would that sell? Would that? You don't like that name?
You know, the biggest problem with all of these is that the issue never presents itself when you first install it. You know, when it's fresh on the head, it all looks beautiful. It's not until it starts growing off the head 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, that's when all the real issues start to show up and you start to realize, whoa, wait a minute, something went wrong real fast.